Hello world, what's going on out there? I'm Billy Ray Fields, and it's been a few weeks since I did my last post. I had some time to reflect on the things I've said and the impact it had on 3 million viewers. For those that received it and understood it, I thank you. It was straight from the heart. I also write down everything I think and then I read it to you because when it comes to speaking about something I'm passionate about, I want it to be clear and well understood. Majority of the comments I've read, I can tell that the world is screaming for justice and someone that stands for good for a change, but the world has shown good things don't get ratings, nor bring in revenue. I, for one, has had enough and decided to take a stand in my beliefs. So I'm taking this direction to pave another road so others can follow my trail. I let the world know that there are corrupt, racist, and bad decision cops out there, but I'm also letting the world know don't be blinded by that because there are good cops in your city that means well and stand for the oath that they took. And those are the cops that I salute to the death of me. Whether you agree on my views or not, we can all agree upon this. We're all tired. But being tired has to start with self first. Starting with self means being accountable for your own actions and own up to the situation you caused and not pointing fingers and blaming others. People are quick to yell, this cop is profiling, this person is judging me before I get a chance to show who I am. I can't win for losing. All I hear are a bunch of excuses. Because if you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, half of the issues you cause wouldn't be affecting your life. Prime example, Tyrone Davis, better known as Hard Rock. A felon, he served X amount of years in prison. He could have easily given up and said, I can't get a job. No one want to give me a chance. Nobody wants to deal with a convict. He faced all odds and overcame them. He rewrote that part of his life where society had counted him out already. He finally got a job and been on that job since he did his bid in prison. He provides for his family and didn't allow his past to dictate his future. Another one, Ryan Walker, better known as Spaceman, a felon. He did his time and instead of pointing fingers and blaming others, he went out and got on his grind to support his family. Several years later, he has a good paying job and recently just purchased a house. My point is there's 1,000,001 excuses to sit back and complain on how the world is mistreating you. Try being productive by doing something positive, whether it's affecting your life or someone else's life. And stop down talking the next person because they choose to live their life a little differently. Trouble is easy to get into, but it's hard to get out of once you cross that line. It's time to wake up, people. It's time to open your eyes and realize you think these people continue to build these prisons just for the amusement? When you're out there in them streets and you decide to do something that you're going to regret later, when the police catches you and the folks put that stamp of approval on you, meaning identification docket number, you're sold to the highest bidder. Not only that, when you become property, they decide to release you on conditions, meaning you will have a parole or probation officer until you finish your time. Once you hit them streets again, without a plan or some type of guidance, off you go again. I, for one, have seen it, witnessed it, and lived it. There's no need to be upset with the person who's only doing their job. It starts with you, and it's about owning up to your actions. When we talk about race, not only does Black lives matter, all lives matter, man. This black on black crime needs to come to a halt before we holler police brutality or anything else. Now, that doesn't mean police brutality needs to be overlooked. I'm just saying we need to fix us first. We are killing our own more than having help from others do it. Cincinnati, Ohio had 8 deaths in 2 weeks. 8 deaths in a 2-week span. Come on, people. When does it end? When do we start looking at the bigger picture? Instead of using social media as a tool, we post fights for likes, show how much money we're making, and just being plumb ignorant. So I ask, where's the growth? Where's the development at? When will people realize that they don't fear guns and gangs, they fear knowledge and how you choose to affect others with that knowledge? There's a lot of things going on in this world that are used as cover-ups for the real issue. I ask you to gain knowledge and understanding for self, because once you know, there's nobody that can persuade you to think differently. My people, continue to record because it's benefiting both parties, believe it or not. And let's try fixing the person in the mirror before we start fixing other people's problem. My good cops out there, continue to do community-oriented policing because it's going to pay off. We just got a lot of work to do. For those that's causing violence and looting towards others, I ask the communities to stand up and help with the change that we all seek. And for those that don't agree with my views, they don't want to accept the change that's about to happen, and they don't want to support my movement, you can cut yourself and go jump in the ocean too. I'm Billy Ray Fields, and I'm out.